There comes a moment in everyone's life when the number in the passport ceases to be a mere formality, turning into a reason for deep reflection and inner concern. This is the time when many people begin to wonder about the correctness of their chosen path and true purpose. This state is often called a midlife crisis, but perhaps it is not just a crisis, but something much more significant, a turning point in personal development. Carl Jung, a prominent psychologist, argued that until the age of 40, a person usually exists within the framework of the so-called persona, a set of social roles and masks that correspond to the expectations of society, family, and professional sphere. During this period, we strive for career heights, family formation, and confirmation of our own importance. However, then comes the time of the shadow, the moment when repressed desires, unrealized dreams, and rejected aspects of personality begin to emerge. This awakening may be accompanied by an intense desire for change. Work that previously seemed a source of fulfillment suddenly loses its appeal. Relationships that seemed unshakable begin to crack. Even one's own self may be perceived as something alien and unfamiliar. During this period, a person faces the need to reconsider his values and life orientations. This turning point can be the beginning of a new chapter in life. But, unfortunately, many people remain trapped in old scenarios and other people's expectations, not realizing the potential for personal growth and self-realization. How to break the vicious circle and take the path of self-discovery to become the master of your destiny. The author's Telegram channel offers to delve into the study of these questions, helping readers to reach a new round of awareness and realize their potential. The channel will become a guide in the world of signs that life sends us, and will help to reveal the secret mechanisms that control our reality. Here, you will find practices aimed at working with the subconscious mind, shadow aspects of personality, and even future events. This is not just another channel, but a whole community of like-minded people who seek the truth and are ready to change their lives for the better. Join to get access to unique text materials and see the world from a new angle. You will find a link to this resource in the video description. As Jung said, this process of individuation is a journey from living according to imposed patterns to finding one's true self. But what happens when a person doesn't listen to the inner voice? Ignoring these changes can lead to anxiety, apathy, and emotional burnout. The psyche, striving for harmony, begins to signal through deteriorating health, relationship problems, and a sense of meaninglessness of existence. However, those who are not afraid to embark on this path often find that the 40-year milestone is not the sunset, but rather the dawn of a truly meaningful stage of life. It is during this period that people begin to reassess their true priorities, discover new horizons, and even gain a completely different understanding of themselves. So, how do you realize that you are going through this period? You may feel that all your previous aspirations have suddenly lost their relevance. You begin to question the previously made choice of profession or life partner. You are overcome by fatigue from the usual routine, and there is a need for privacy to immerse yourself in reflection. Perhaps you are increasingly interested in spiritual or philosophical questions. If all of these things resonate with you, you are probably on the verge of a profound transformation. So, how can you use this period for personal growth? If turning 40 is not a crisis but a chance, how exactly do you turn this moment to your advantage? How to pass through it with clear understanding and without destructive consequences? Carl Jung suggested several important steps that help a person make the transition from the old self to a new, more authentic existence. Realizing one's own shadow side is essentially an encounter with oneself, unadorned and unadorned. Throughout our lives, we sculpt ourselves into an ideal version of ourselves, while suppressing what we consider undesirable aspirations, feelings, and character traits. From childhood, we are taught to conform to certain standards. Be good, Don't get caught up in the clouds. Stability is paramount. As a result, many people live someone else's life, obeying the expectations of others rather than their own deepest needs. However, by the age of 40, the psyche, weary from constant suppression, begins to fail. Previously hidden aspects of the personality burst out, manifesting itself in someone in the form of gratuitous sadness, in others, in a radical change of hobbies, and in others, in an unquenchable thirst for something new. Accepting your unexpressed desires, fears, and repressed emotions is a difficult but necessary process that holds great potential for personal growth. What to do? First of all, allow yourself to be honest with yourself. Ask yourself a simple but profound question. What do I really want? Keep a self-reflection journal where you can record your thoughts and feelings. Pay special attention to those moments that cause strong emotional reactions. They are the keys to your shadow side. Next, you should reconsider your persona. Who are you without the imposed social roles? Until the age of 40, most people live their lives based on their persona, i.e., the image they show to the world. A successful professional, a caring parent, a responsible worker, a person who always does the right thing. But who are you when you take off these masks? What is left when you are not defined by work, family, or public opinion? This question may cause fear and discomfort, but it is the question that leads to true inner freedom and wholeness. What is the right thing to do? One should reflect on the roles one has played throughout one's life and ask oneself how accurately they reflect one's true nature. It is necessary to realize that the inner world of an individual is much richer and more multifaceted than just a set of social expectations and imposed stereotypes. It is important to give oneself the opportunity for experimentation and bold trials in completely new areas. Acceptance of new meanings and spiritual growth are integral parts of this process. Carl Jung, a famous psychologist, argued that in the first half of life, most people are focused on achieving external success, such as material well-being, high social status, and universal recognition. However, after reaching the age of 40, there is usually a realization of the fact that true satisfaction and fullness of life comes from within. This period of life becomes a time to search for new, deeper meanings and values. Some people find them in creativity, be it painting, music, or writing. Others see their calling in helping those in need. Still others turn to philosophy or spiritual practices to realize the truth. What should one do in such a case? It is worth reflecting on those topics and issues that have always aroused genuine interest, but for which previously lacked time or opportunities. It is necessary to allow yourself to show creativity and imagination, even if there was no experience in such activities before. It is important to discover the idea that the true meaning of life lies not only in the achievement of any external goals, but in the deep living of each moment, in the feeling of the fullness of being. Why is this so important? If a person goes through this stage consciously and with understanding, then instead of a potential crisis, he gets the opportunity for his second birth. This is the moment when he begins to live in accordance with his own values and beliefs, not according to rules imposed from the outside. Ignoring the inner transformations that take place in adulthood is fraught with serious consequences. Many people in this period of life face anxiety, fear, or unexplained inner discomfort, but often prefer to suppress these unpleasant feelings. They tend to attribute their condition to ordinary fatigue or inevitable age-related changes, not wanting to delve into their true nature. However, as Carl Jung rightly warned, if a person does not consciously go through the process of individuation, that is, the realization and acceptance of his integrity, it can turn into a feeling of inner emptiness and deep loss. A person can achieve all the goals set earlier, be it a successful career, a strong family, or financial stability, but suddenly finds that all this does not bring him true satisfaction and peace of mind. This often leads to escapism into various destructive habits, such as alcohol abuse, gambling addiction, excessive immersion in work, and other forms of self-destruction. This occurs because of an acute sense of missed opportunities and unrealized potential. When a person persistently ignores his shadow, that is, the unconscious aspects of his personality, and continues to play familiar but long-bored roles, sooner or later he catches a sense of deep regret and disappointment. He begins to realize that he has not lived his life the way he really wanted to. This can cause a sudden and acute desire to radically change everything. Some people in their 40s and older do impulsive, rash things. They leave their families, quit their jobs, completely change their environment, trying to start life with a clean slate. However, if a person does not realize and work through the internal causes of his crisis, does not understand what exactly led him to this state, then, as a rule, the situation will simply repeat itself in a new, albeit outwardly changed, entourage. How to turn this stage of life into a period of blossoming, not decline. Carl Jung spoke of individuation as the second, mature half of life. It is not a simple self-exploration, but a chance to reach a whole new level of consciousness, inner depth, and mental harmony. It is necessary to rethink your life priorities. What seemed paramount in your youth, at the age of 20 to 30 years, may lose its relevance. Allow yourself to ask yourself important questions. What is of true value to me now? What do I want to achieve not for the praise of others, but for my own satisfaction? What brings me sincere joy, even if it goes unnoticed by others? Learn to appreciate the present. A common mistake is to wallow in memories of the past or worry about what is to come. You need to learn to find pleasure in the present moment. Practicing mindfulness, meditation, socializing with people who inspire you, learning new skills and hobbies are all good for this. Open yourself to new possibilities. This period of life can be a time for amazing discoveries, exciting journeys, self-improvement, and profound insights. It is important not to be afraid to experiment, to try the unfamiliar, to go beyond the ordinary. Age 40 plus is not the end, but the beginning of a new, rich stage of life. According to the famous psychologist Carl Jung, the 40-year milestone is a turning point in the life of every person, providing a unique opportunity to find the true self. This time should be considered not as a crisis period, but rather as a phase of deep transformation and rethinking. It is during this period that an individual gets a chance to discard the social frameworks and stereotypes that dominated him or her earlier, and to start forming his or her own unique life trajectory. However, it should be noted that this process requires a lot of self-reflection, readiness to face the truth, and courage to change. Only if these qualities are present can rebirth become a reality and not remain just a pipe dream.